how your Instagram page might kind of be hurting your business and not helping it like you think it might be. Whenever I have someone come into and apply for the Home Bakery Blueprint, we look through their Instagram page, and because a lot of people, that's their number one complaint. They don't know what to do with Instagram. They don't know how to like make it more professional. So I'm just going to kind of talk about some of the things I see that are hurting it. Hi, Alicia. Or is it Alicia? So one of the big no-nos is messaging people and asking them to follow you. That happens a lot to me. People messaging me and asking them to follow. I'm sure a lot of people here have that happen to them. But a lot of those people that do that get blocked or marked as spam. So stop doing that if you're doing that. Hi from Brazil. Okay, I'm going to stop reading the comments, but I'll read them at the end. So if you're doing that, if you're messaging people and asking them to follow you or kind of spamming them, don't do that. That could be hurting your page, because also you might be marked as spam, and then Instagram is less likely to show your page and stuff to other people. So that goes along with this next one, spamming the comment sections of similar pages. So I know that that might get you maybe some temporary likes, but if you're going into the comment section of, say, another bigger baker and just going on to everyone else's comments and saying, follow me or come check out my page, that is also not a good way to grow your Instagram page. And that can actually be hurting you because it's not very professional. So don't do that. But that's not saying that you shouldn't go into the comment sections of other bakers and actually, if you're going to comment something about their photo. If someone else maybe has a question, you can answer it if you know the answer, but just don't spam them. Okay, buying followers, obviously. Well, that's not that obvious. Don't do that, because people can tell nowadays if you have 50,000 followers and on your Instagram page and then like 25 likes, people can tell, and it just seems shady. Maybe I will answer some questions along the way. No, I'll wait. But you can put them in the comment section now, and then I'll answer them at the end. So this is something I see a lot too, mixing your business page with your personal page. That can be very confusing for Instagram, the algorithm, for your followers. Like, if it doesn't know what kind of page you are, it's not going to know who to show your page to. So if you want to put some personal stuff, I think personal stuff is fine if it's like behind the scenes or maybe a little bit about you or something, but don't let it get too personal, and don't let that be like a reoccurring thing you do on your Instagram page. If this is an Instagram page just for your business. This is who I'm talking to, people that are just have a business Instagram page. I would definitely separate the two. So you've got a business page, you got a personal page. Who cares what you put on your personal page? You could put baking stuff, personal, everything, but for your business, where you're selling your treats, I would keep it all business with some behind the scenes stuff. That's anything that has to do with your business. And then if you do want to put some personal stuff, you could put it on your stories. So then it won't be as confusing. But I would keep your feed business. If you want to do behind the scenes, that would be cool. But just keep it separate. Okay, so this is a big one, but the photos. I see a lot of bad pictures. And I know that it's hard to take photos and get that good lighting, but if you find some good lighting and just use the same thing every time, it can work. It won't be as hard as you think it's going to be. So I see a lot of bad lighting. Either it looks like you're using like a lamp, or just not enough lighting. So it's a very dark photo. So if you have a window in your house, use that. Use the natural lighting. Go take a photo outside. Just, that is like one of the most important things. You can use your iPhone, you can use your whatever phone you have to take the photos. Just make sure you have really good lighting. Now, Another thing I see is like messy photos, like it looks like your workspace, which can be cool, a photo of like behind the scenes. But if you're doing like a final product photo, I would clean up your space a bit. Try to put as few things in the photo as possible until you're very confident in your photography skills. So if you're really good at photography, you can add props and stuff in the background, but most of the time it just ends up looking cluttered. So if you're first starting and you don't know what you're doing, just do a simple photo with a simple background, good lighting, overhead, or something just really easy just to show the products. And I've seen a lot of photos that are it just looks like a cookie that's been bitten into, stacked on top of each other. Like there's a lot of easy ways to take a good photo showcasing how good your product looks. I just also saw a comment or someone posted in the Michelle's Macarons Facebook group about if hands look good in photos or not. And that is a tough one because sometimes they do look really good, but other times it can look really bad. So either I've seen, oh, Carol says light box. Yeah, you can use a light box if you don't have a window or if you work during the day and you can't use that natural light. I've seen gloves even look cool if you are worried about your nails and stuff, but if your hands are dirty and your background is dirty and you're taking a hand photo, that can look kind of gross. Not that you're gross, but you're working hard, you're taking photos and like you have a lot to do, so it's hard to like get a manicure in between that time, but maybe put a glove on. The gloves don't look bad when you take a photo, especially if it's like a nicer looking glove, like the kind you're supposed to be using. I've seen that look really cool as long as you're focusing on the photo and it's not like a hand picture. So yeah, be careful with that. Mess, keep the mess out of the photo. I mean, if you don't have a lot of space, just zoom in, not zoom, put your phone closer to the product and take like a close-up shot. Like that is an easy way. I wish I could show you guys some examples of really good photos that are just like, you can't even really see the background. It's just focused on the product and how good it looks and nothing else really matters. That's the good thing about taking pictures of baked goods is you can like focus on like the melted chocolate chips or what it looks like when there's a bite in it. I will save this. Okay, I'm going to start answering some of your questions about Instagram pages. So I pretty much, not having any way to buy. You are my mood. Not letting people know how they can buy. Just like you sometimes put your product on there but you don't have clear instructions on how to buy. People need clear instructions on how they can buy your product. So put it in your bio, put it in your captions, put it everywhere. Make it very easy to figure out how to buy your product. Okay, you can start asking questions. I'm going to answer some that were already asked here. Hi from Brazil, New York. Do you think that sponsored posts can really give more visits to the profile and to the business? So I don't get into that. I don't teach that in my program, and I don't do it because it can just be a lot. Like, you need to really make sure you're targeting the right people when you sponsor the post, or you're just wasting money. So I always teach how to grow organically without the sponsored posts. You could try a couple things, get more visits to the profile, especially if do you have a home bakery or do you have a bakery, like a storefront? Fluff Cups, hello. All right, let's see. I did that mistake before, but thank God I fixed it. Yeah, a lot of these are easy fixes. Just using, like Carol said, you could use a light box. You can use natural light. If you haven't already, go look at one of my YouTube videos about taking pictures with your iPhone. I used an Amazon box with Marvel contact paper stuck on it for the first 5 years. of my business, and then a reflector board as a reflector poster board to reflect the natural light. So that's what I used for the first 5 years or whatever. An Amazon box with contact paper on it, a reflector, which is just poster board, and my iPhone, and natural light. Hi, Fawn. I forget if I already said I will be saving this live. How often should you post? I can't wait until I'm able to sign up because I know this blueprint will work. Oh, good. Did you fill out the application? We were talking, weren't we? How often should you post? Okay, so that is kind of, a lot of people will say that there's different times that you should post. Like, you could go online and when you're first starting, find like a graphic that will tell you this is the best time for you to post, which a lot of people also say don't listen to that. But I mean, if the majority of, they can track when the majority of people are on Instagram, so it's a good starting place to just Google best time to post on Instagram. Then you can go in and see your own insights and look at, this is when my audience is on after you've posted for a bit, and you can see which ones do better, what time you're posting, and go from there. So, but it's not a bad thing to start with the ones that are just generic. This is when most people are online. I like to post like an hour before most people are online, but how often should you post? Kind of got off on a tangent there, but that also depends. I was posting, when I first started, I was posting maybe once a week, and then once I started getting busier, it went down to like once every other day. Then it was like once, no, I meant to say once a day when I first started. Then it went down to a couple times a week. Then it was like 2 times a week. So, and I mean, you can still slowly grow that way, but now I'm trying to post 3 times a day and doing 1 regular post, 1 carousel, and 1 reel. So it depends how quickly you want to grow your Instagram, but I would say at least try to post once a day if you can. 3 is kind of obnoxious. I've just started doing that, but what I always liked to do was at least once a day. What is the best time to post? Okay, good. So I just answered that, but you're going to want to look at if you've had your Instagram page for a bit, look at your insights and see when your audience is online, and go from that. Is it better to post pictures or reels? Well, right now, reels. I like to do both. I like to do reels, carousels. Don't forget carousels when you have like 2 or 3 or 4 pictures that people can swipe through. Those get a lot of, those get a bump in the algorithm because people are sitting there scrolling, staying on Instagram longer. I've said this before, but the basic, like, you're going to read a lot of different things about the algorithm and it's going to keep changing, but the most important thing is keeping people on the app longer will always get you promoted in the Instagram algorithm or any algorithm. Just keeping people on their site. Should I have a separate account for my business? Sorry if I missed this question. Yes. Keep your, I say keep your personal and your business separate so people aren't confused about what you do. But you can always, what I did at first is I had my personal, and then I had my personal and my business. I posted only business stuff on my business, maybe some behind the scenes. And then I would take my personal and sometimes post my business stuff on my personal. So people that I had that were still following me on my personal, I would maybe share my business page's post on my personal story. Yeah, right now they're really promoting reels. And they're promoting reels to people that aren't even following you. So you can, the For You page, if you guys don't know what that is, you've got the home page, the search, and then when you hit the search, it is your For You page, things that Instagram thinks you'll like. Usually you're not following those people. Well, sometimes you are, but it's easier to get your reels onto the For You page right now than it is your pictures. They're really promoting video and stuff. So you can go live, post IGTVs, post reels, even if they're just short little, like 4-second reels. That's good. Can I set Instagram to take orders from customers? So there is the option to do the Instagram shop. I think a lot of my customers are more into ordering by email or the form on my website. But you can kind of see what your customers, like the age group they are, and maybe if you do have a lot of younger ones, you can do the set up a shop on Instagram, because it's just a little harder to figure out when you're ordering. But you can set it up so if you have Shopify, you can connect the two and have it that way. Do you need a certain number of followers for your reel to show up on suggestions? No, but if it's just good quality, they will promote it. So it just has to be, you have to really make sure you have good lighting. That is very important with your reels. Good lighting. And like, I kind of tested my reels and did some like with this blue background and some with the pink brighter background. And that one did way better every time. So try to get something where you have a lot of bright colors, maybe natural light if you can, or any good lighting, and keep it clean. And that will help you. It's got to be something. Think of, would you want to watch it? But also, the shorter it is, the more views you get usually. But it is true that if you do have a lot of followers, your reel will show up in suggestions. Usually, just because more people have seen it. So if Instagram sees that a lot of people are watching it, they usually promote it more to other people like that they know would like it. Hello, thanks for joining. Do you have a preferred app to edit videos for Reels? So I edit my videos in Instagram. I put them together in Instagram and do everything in Instagram, because I have heard that like if it's pre-recorded, it doesn't do as well as if you put it together and film it in Instagram. So what I normally do is I will just film the clips and put them together and do everything on Instagram, and then put them in my draft for later, and then save them as well, because a lot of the times the drafts get deleted on Instagram. So like if you're filming it on TikTok and you're just saving it and it's got the TikTok logo on it, who's the guy, that president of Instagram or whoever it was, said we're not going to be promoting the TikTok logo reels. So if your reel has the TikTok logo, it's definitely not going to get promoted compared to ones that you're making in Instagram. Do songs make a difference on reels to get noticed more? Yes. So trending songs. Use trending songs when you can, and use the trending songs like if you see a popular reel, go to the bottom and click on the song and use that exact one, so you can see a lot of people have used it instead of going and finding that song on your own. Does that make sense? But yeah, you want to use trending songs when you're doing reels. Signed up for the blueprint last night. Oh, cool, you applied. Recommendations for what information to include in your bio. So hi Barbara. The gist of it is just basically include what you do and how people can order. Just having that in there is usually good enough. How do you edit to the beat of the music? So I try to do that while I'm recording it. So I will put I think I showed you guys this in the program. I will do, okay, let's see. So I'll hit the timer, the music, the timer, and then it will tell me when to start, and then I will point to the beat. And if I mess up, you can go in there and cut the clips and kind of shorten them to kind of bring them over. But usually if I mess up, I'll just refilm it, because I don't want to edit it to get it to the beat. I'll just try to get it on the first or second try. Whenever I use popular song on Instagram, my reels got lots of viewers. Yeah. That has been said that it's very helpful to, the pointing. Yeah, I mean, a lot of the songs are awful, but if they're trending, you're more likely to get your video shown. Still new to the whole video reel thing. How do you figure out what songs are trending? This is kind of the annoying part. I mean, there are websites you can go on to figure out what's trending, and they say usually it'll trend on TikTok before it'll trend on Instagram, so you could go there. But basically just going through my homepage or my For You page or Reel page or whatever, and you'll start to hear the same songs over and over again, and then you can click on the song and then go and see this audio was used 20,000 times or whatever, and that's how you can tell. What timer? I'm lost. Okay, so when you're filming a reel, there should be the music notes up top. You can click on that, find your music, and then below there will be a little timer, and it will say, I can't see right now, but it'll say something about set timer or something like that. And then, so when you start recording, it will start playing and stop it automatically when the song's over. What are your thoughts on promoting your page on Instagram and paying for it, and what's the best way to go about it? So I don't like doing that. I did that at first. I like to do it organically just because you have to target the right people. But if I were going to do it, I would make sure I was targeting people that are in the, like, around the area. It's just never been worth it for me. But maybe if you're doing a specific event, you could target people around where that event is going to be, and try that. Yes, thank you for the tip. Didn't know that we should be using trending music from the reel that has most views. Yeah, if you can just go find, this is what is annoying, that you have to kind of go on Instagram and go through reels and sit there and watch a bunch of other people's reels, and that can get kind of annoying. But you'll start to see, okay, this is a song that keeps playing, and when it has a lot of views, take note of that too.